Okay, another quick walk through for our sale coming up on May the 18th at 12 p.m. That's a Sunday, so be there. We have lots of great items once again. We have 400 lots put together in 3 weeks. As you can see in this main room, we've got lots of used furniture, mid-century furniture, antique furniture. I'm just going to stop on a few items because the appraisers will do everything. Here we have a beautiful patinated bronze by an artist called Jose Planos. Came from a White Plains estate. As you can see, there's lots of abstract sculpture. This one here, not signed, but I think particularly nice. Sort of looks like a bird, but it's of a burl type walnut in a free form. Nice wood sculpture. Moving right along here on the furniture, we have this absolutely magnificent, I would say, late 19th century black lacquered cabinet with lots and lots of brass inlay and mother of pearl inlay. And you can see some bronze mounts on it up here. Great original condition. The brass inlay seems to be all tight except for a small little spot down here, but it's a beautiful cabinet. Moving right into the main room, before we go in, Steve, I'm just going to stop and give you an idea of the size on this bronze. It's sort of like a hammered bronze. It's of a marionette or a puppet, really. You can see here the strings, very heavy, but very, very big size, done by an artist called Erwin Hyman, of which we have 2 in this sale. You can just get an idea of the size here. This is the second one by the same artist, of obviously the young guy waiting for his wages from the older man. Nice table, same sort of hammered finish. Moving into the main room, I'm just going to quickly run through it because Bruce, Whitney and Nelia and Keane will get to detail on everything. Before I run along, we have a lot of cameras in this sale. A lot of vintage cameras, including Leicas and, stereoscopes, etc. Here's just a little handful of some of them. Also, there's a Gibson guitar here for the collectible people. Moving right along, see if you can see we've got lots of collectibles. We have mid-century. We have art on the walls. Before I move all the way along, I'm going to show you, stop on this absolutely magnificent leaded and stained glass windows. All the different colored glass is clear. You've got diamonds, jeweling, reverse painted. Absolutely magnificent. Came from a house in Garden City in Long Island. Moving right along, you see there's lots of carpets, there's urns, there's chandeliers, marble top bedroom sets, beautiful French provincial dining room set here. Over here, before we go much further, I'll just show you, this is one of a pair of really nice chinoiserie decorated and lacquered cabinets on stands. Beautiful. These came from a 42nd Street estate. We've got architectural columns. We've got brass inlaid dining room tables. We've got lots of sculpture. Back room is even full this time. We've done pretty good in 3 weeks. We've filled it up again. In here, as you can see, there's lots of armoires. We have a lot of Baker furniture. We have a lot of Kittinger. I think a bit of something for everyone in this sale, and all nice quality. We move to every 4 weeks coming in June, and our June sale is particularly strong. We got some very strong and rare art. As you see, we got screens. Here's one of these. This is a floor model, I believe, a French stereo scope camera. You can see it even has about 200 of these images in here. Beautiful condition. Over here we have actually a particularly nice Canabi piano in a Louis XV style walnut case, but beautifully carved. Nice body on that. So with that, I'm going to leave you and hand you over to Bruce, who will fill you in on more items. We'll see you then. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. I'll start my walkthrough today in the lobby with a nice pair of French Empire style, bronze mounted, Egyptian Revival, bronze mounted armchairs, big generous wide seats. And here a 3-piece set, including the original mirrored ottoman, probably by the Marchand Company, a vanity. You could use it as a desk. And here, Steve, I'd like you to see this Asian, turn of the century Asian floor screen, double-sided floor screen, all inlaid with stone and ivory, and it's a beautiful wood also. There's a couple of bits of inlay missing. It's double-sided, as I mentioned, but a beautiful antique screen. And here a good turn of the century, late 19th, early 20th century Chinese altar table. The top's been refinished, but it's got good age underneath, nice form. And above it, from our Bronxville estate, a good antique Chinese painting on paper. It's been laid down on board, but terrific quality and very good age. A lot of interest in this already. And if we'll just go into the main gallery, Steve. There's so much to talk about, and I have very little time. Terrific. We're getting interest from all over the world, actually, on this set of Paris porcelain plates, early Paris porcelain plates of Roman gods. And here from Port Chester, this is a pair of Sèvres, bronze-mounted Sèvres urns, artist signed, and they come with another big Sèvres lamp that's somewhere else in the gallery. All nice things from this Port Chester estate. This porcelain is from Port Chester. This pair of sconces, it might be Sèvres. And here's just some Chinese items that we have. Some antique, some not so old. I'll show you more in a little while. Here's a big pair of probably 20th century copies of ginger jars. This is a very unusual pair with almost pat sur pat quality decoration on them. These are very nice in person. They look nicer in person than on the internet. On nice hardwood bases. They probably are Chinese. Black Forest Clarke. We have most of the parts from Port Chester. From a White Plains storage unit, originally from New Hampshire, I guess, is this beautiful federal period mahogany and inlaid with satinwood and rosewood or calamander. Secretary, fall front secretary desk. A nice example. From Port Chester, and we have this middle finial, a beautiful turn-of-the-century French gilt bronze and crystal chandelier. Here's the finial right down in here, just the plaster gave way. But great quality and age, nearly Baccarat. A good turn of the late 19th century gilded, probably French style, but probably French mirror with ribbon and bow knot top and really nice gold. Bronzes, French sconces, after Diana, after Udon. An unusual pair of 19th century brass or bronze sconces, sort of grand tour. The other one's on the other side of this armoire. Maybe we'll catch it going by. And from Bronxville, one of several pieces of bronze-mounted French furniture. This is a beautiful, beautiful armoire. This is all gilded bronze, well chiseled, beveled mirror, beautiful flame grain mahogany. A good mid-19th century gilded leg English bench, carved in gilded legs, upholstered bench or banquette. And above it, from Eastchester, woman moving to Florida, a beautiful opaline French gilt bronze and opaline glass chandelier. Nice quality, nice fire to the opaline glass. And here from Port Chester is a custom mahogany dining room table with 2 leaves, but it's rosewood and all inlaid with brass. It's a beautiful, beautiful dining room table. And these are the chairs that were around it. They're mahogany. Not sure where this came from, but a good 19th century French baker's rack, all signed, if you can see down here, Steve, signed by a Paris maker, a great small size and a very nice antique one. And a pair of mid-19th century English dummy boards. These aren't lithographs, these are painted, really terrifically painted, to go in the fireplace during the summertime when it wasn't in use. Fireboards, dummy boards, exquisitely painted. And from Bronxville, one of several lots of Gothic revival. This clock goes with this hanging plaque. And somewhere in the gallery is a really nice Gothic revival lift-top bench. And from the same house in Bronxville is this 19th century, two big, deep, wide, kind of exaggerated French chairs. They just have terrific form. And here from an apartment in Manhattan, I don't know, maybe Cambodian, but an antique bronze bust of Buddha, but all splash gilded, if you note the little bits of gilding all over it, on an incredible custom-made stand and base. And on either side, Steve, falls more under mid-century, is this pair of mirrored and limed console tables. The other one's on the other side of the gallery. Nice classical form. I guess Hollywood Regency, they would say. And more French bronze-mounted furniture, including this Egyptian Revival bureau plat with leather top, gilt-tooled leather top, and the original chair. Kind of hard to find that combination. And an antique 6-panel hardstone inlaid Chinese screen. It's missing some bits of inlay and it'll need restoration, but a good antique one. All inlaid with jade and lapis and all different hard stones, carnelian. And here, one of the best kind of Art Nouveau, 19th century gilt bronze and onyx and glass, original glass etagères that we've had. A really nice, extra great example there. A bronze-mounted bookcase from the same house in Bronxville as some other items I've shown you. Also from Bronxville, and for safety reasons, kind of tucked away here, but a really nice bronze-mounted neoclassical revival French, I guess it's Amboina wood, some kind of burled wood with little classical bronze mounts and bronze strip along the bottom. All nice things in Bronxville. From a Portchester estate is this two-piece sort of telephone stand. The best quality. I can hardly lift this stand right here. It was original to the house, built in 1923, I believe. Here's the Gothic Revival lift-top hall bench we talked about. With each of these monk heads are different faces. That's kind of a nice feature for it. And here from Harrison, I think, or Purchase, it was Purchase, is an antique, turn of the century, Edwardian, paint decorated, two-part cabinet. We do have the keys, nice old paint. And here from Bronxville is really the best Japanese, late 19th, early 20th century Japanese lacquered desk and chair that I've seen. It's to imitate Cinnabar, but really a beauty with the original chair. And out of an apartment in Manhattan is a pretty good group of Chinese porcelain. This is just early Republic as far as age, but really terrific detail and paintings of children with lanterns and a celebration, and seal marked, in good condition. And this archaic censer came from that estate. And here out of Manhattan is a big 5-piece garniture set. This is 19th century, really beautiful. We have all the lids here. It's got some old restorations. It comes with an antique dealer's label from London. It was bought in London probably in the 50s, 1950s or 60s. And like I said, there's some restoration, but it's really a stunning set of Chinese porcelain. And here's a nice collection of miniature clocks, miniature enameled clocks, marble and enamel. Here's a little silver and enamel guilloche travel clock, and a very good quality French gilt bronze mounted marble shelf clock, mantle clock. And from Manhattan, a big early 20th century peach charger, peaches and bats. No marks, but a good early 20th century. And with that, Steve, I'm going to turn it over to Nelia. We hope to see you on the 18th.
Thank you, Bruce. I want to start by showing a very large collection of portrait miniatures that we took in from an estate in Yonkers. This is an amassed collection of about 150 pieces, and you can see as we sort of scan across, there are many miniatures of males, females, dating from the 16th century up to the 20th century. So we have a nice variety here, excellent quality, and I'm going to point out just a few to you. These two here, these are actually 20th century pieces, but they're just really, really gorgeous. One is signed T.D. Talmage, and the other one is Claude Quivy. So nice portraits of women there. I'll show you this one here. This is actually an English school. This, we believe, is probably 19th century, of a small child holding a rose. Wonderful details, just really beautifully painted. This here, we have 18th century. This is by Philip Jean, a British painter, well-known portrait artist. Portrait of a gentleman, and on the back we have the monogram, we have the curls of hair, seed pearls adorning it. So a lot of these have these glazed reverse, where you can see in many with plated bits of hair, monograms, ink inscriptions, as you'll have to look on the website for those details. Here, these are actually not on ivory or bone, but these are on paper. This one here is attributed to Richard Causeway, and beautiful portrait of a woman as an angel. And here, the British 18th century artist John Smart, and we have a very finely painted portrait of an elderly woman. Two more I want to show you here, attributed to Frederick Buck, British portrait painter, 18th to 19th century. This here is quite special, this male portrait. If you can see, you may not be able to see the details, he actually has a miniature portrait around his neck. So it's kind of a rare scene. And these also have nice backings with plaited hair, and this one with a nice gilt monogram on the back. So really quite unique. This one here of a mother and child is attributed to Anne Mee. Also nice and frame with an old inscription on the back. And many of these were purchased for several $1,000s from auction houses, some from retail galleries. She was paying top dollar for these pieces. And this piece here by David de Granges, this is a 18th century portrait. And we know this was purchased at Bonham's, I believe in 2007, for about $4,000. It's being offered here individually with a $1,000 to $1,500 estimate. This one here, William Wood, also British. Nice portrait of a gentleman on bone or ivory. We don't know where this was purchased, but my guess is from an auction house. We have an old label on the back, but probably for several thousand. Again, she was paying really quite a bit of money for these pieces. So that's just a very small selection of what we have. There are many details on the website, front, back, mostly on bone ivory, though we have some on card, paper, board, all offered with very conservative estimates, but they're really quite magnificent, so I hope you will look at them there. Thanks. The next thing I want to show you is this very large oil on canvas. This out of a Rye, New York estate. We have Diana the Huntress, and she's lying nude in a landscape. The estate actually thought it was a little bit too risque for them, though we think she's absolutely beautiful. Definitely 19th century. She has been restored a bit. Probably at one point was actually painted on two different canvases. We do have a split down the center, but it is a large work. It may have had to do with traveling. My guess is it is European. So we have this estimated at $1,500 to $2,500. Out of the same Yonkers collection as the portrait miniatures, we have this nice large 19th century portrait of a gentleman. You can see the way the fabric is manipulated is it's really quite wonderful, the reflections off the coat. A few bits of scratches here and there, probably relined years and years ago, estimated at $600 to $900, a nice little portrait there. And down below, we have an oil on canvas, portrait of a ship. This is the Mary Hasbrook, an American ship. It is signed Shepherd, probably for Warren Shepherd, the 19th century marine painter, though we can't say for sure. It has a bit of craquelure. It's been framed behind glass to protect it, but a wonderful painting. This is estimated at $1,000 to $1,500. And then just up here in the corner, this came in on a walk-in Wednesday a few weeks ago. This is by Arthur Grimm, and this is a Parisian scene. It is signed and dated 1908. Grimm was a German artist. He would have been only about 25 when he painted this. This is an early work, but he was, we know, traveling through Paris and Europe and painting. This is estimated at $800 to $1,200. Now I'm going to step away from the 19th century pieces and show you mid-20th century. So this work here is a very large sculpture by Francesco Someini. Someini worked in various metals. We believe this is a mixed metal work. This came out of a storage unit in New Rochelle. And the original owner did keep it outside. You can see there's a bit of oxidation and discoloration here. Part of it may be intentional by the artist, and we think some of it has come from being left outdoors. But really a wonderful work. This is very typical of his 1960s pieces. We do have a signature and a foundry mark on the side, though it may not be visible, but there's a nice image on the website. And it's propped up on a nice original lucite base. So this work is estimated at $6,000 to $9,000. I want to show you another piece of Italian mid-20th century work. This here, an abstract oil on canvas by Mino Soretti. This is called The Study of a Phenomenon, though it's titled in Italian on the reverse. This is signed and dated 1959. This came to us on a walk-in Wednesday. I think a really nice abstract work for a contemporary home. This is estimated at $800 to $1,200. Also from a walk-in Wednesday, just down below, we have what I consider to be a very rare etching. This is by Anthony Villonis, and Villonis was a WPA artist. He was working for the Works Project Administration for a very long time, and when he was released, he concentrated on illustrations and printmaking. So this here is actually a New York scene. It's called Loading Ice at the Fulton Fish Market dock. We have the New York skyscrapers in the background, and we've got the men here loading just down here at the harbor. I cannot find another example of this image. I think it's really a terrific piece of New York history. This is estimated at $400 to $600. Another walk-in Wednesday find is just right here. This is a great silk screen by Andy Warhol. And this work is called Paris Review, as you can see here. This was from a series of prints that the Paris Review had to publicize their magazine. And Warhol, along with Frankenthaler, Rauschenberg, many other contemporary artists of the time, issued prints to generate revenue for the magazine. This one here is stamped Andy Warhol, and it is numbered here 34 from an edition of 150. We have this estimated at $2,000 to $3,000. And just up above, from the same collection actually, we have a George Barris photograph of Marilyn Monroe, hand signed by the artist in ink in the lower right. And this is from the last photographs. So these were among the last photos taken of Marilyn before she passed. These done on the beach in California and Santa Monica, and just a wonderful series. This estimated at only $400 to $600. From a local home in White Plains comes this lithograph by Alexander Archipenko. If you'll recall, we had one in our last sale. This one here called Coquette, nice blue color lithograph signed in a blue pencil below. And this is estimated at $800 to $1,200 in very good condition. So again, just a small taste of what we have coming up. I do hope you'll look at the website for further details, especially on the portrait miniatures. And now Keen will show you the mid-century furniture. Thank you.
Thank you, Nelia. I'm really excited about some of the mid-century that we have coming up in the May 18th sale, starting with this absolutely gorgeous Powell Care Home Danish PK61 coffee table. What's really nice about this is not only is the base in beautiful condition with the Danish mark, but the top marble piece, also in perfect condition, is Cipollino marble, one of the rarer and more exquisite marbles that you'll see. This is an absolutely favorite table of the mid-century crowd because of its kind of futuristic but architectural design, very clean, very streamlined, and a 7 to 9 $1,000 estimate on this is conservative in my opinion. I think this thing is going to fly as it should. Behind that table are two of my other two favorite pieces in the sale by Paul Evans, as those of you who know him can highly recognize this. Slate tops, unsigned, but like I said, really recognizable, almost in untouched condition with the polychrome, beautiful sculpted mixed metal. There's some gilding on the bottom of these kind of droplets here. Great pair, and they came from the same estate as a Nakashima table, which I'll get to in a second. But let's talk about this desk, my third piece that I want to focus on, but probably my first favorite piece in the sale, the Pau Noirclit rosewood table. As you can see, there is a little bit of fading to the top, but if anyone did purchase this to refinish it, you can see right here in the sun faded portion of the top how absolutely beautiful and gorgeous this table was in original condition and can be restored too. Structurally, near perfect, great condition on the tops. These lucite bases and this whole center section is how you usually see the desk, and it's highly valuable as it is. But what's really special about this table that we have coming up is the extension that you have on the side here with the drawer and also lucite, and this rolling tambour top file cabinet, little bits and pieces of lucite in there as well, not from the table, but just extra. You usually don't see them. Every single one of these pieces is marked all over the place. The Danish control symbol, branded, gorgeous piece. One of the best pieces I've seen in rosewood, and if I could afford it, I would take it home. Right here we have another recognizable piece, not the real thing, but a Giacometti style console table. Just wanted to mention it because this is one of the better copies that we have seen, and it's got a low estimate, but I think that this type of table and type of console is something that you would want to get at especially a good price. We have more rosewood, a great rosewood table, coffee table there, marked on the bottom of that. Other designer pieces like this Adrian Pearsall original rocking chair. Slight seam to one of the sides. I think it's probably an old minor repair, but nothing that you could even notice unless you were sitting on it. Structurally completely fine. And as I mentioned before, this is the Nakashima for Whitcomb Sundra table. I will flip this over just a little bit. It's great on top. There's one scratch here, not a big deal, but you can see the inset, really good condition, original condition. Under here is basically everything you could ask for, making my job really easy. Sundra, George Nakashima stamp, the numbered stamp, the Whitcomb label on the bottom of that. This is just all you could ask for in terms of provenance and identification. Great table. And surrounding that table, if you just want to take a wider view, is this set of what I believe is probably Brazilian, but it also could be Danish. Very unique furniture. It has the rudder back, the single three-legged chairs, all armchairs with this almost woven canvas type of upholstery with the bib in the back. Very, very nice, very unique. And this three-rudder sofa as well. These all came from the same estate, and it makes a great match, the living room set. And once again, it has me stumped, but I absolutely just love it. Something that does not have me stumped is this Knoll, Harry Bertoya for Knoll bird chair. Original condition, labeled on both pieces. There is a little bit of roughness to the powder coat on the bottoms of these, but once again, in original condition. There's actually a very slight petrification to the ottoman, but the bird chair is probably in better condition than I've seen most of them before. Still has the straps on the sides, and it actually is pretty soft in the cushioning. Not much staining, a slight cleaning will put this in great condition, and not something you have to put much work into. I'll just flip this over and show you the old Knoll label on the bottom there. Great piece, very funky. Another piece I really like in the sale. And those are just a few of the pieces. We have a great selection, and I hope to see you there on the 18th. I will shoot you now to Whitney for the sterling and jewelry. Thank you.
Thank you, Keen, and I'm going to present you with a selection of jewelry and sterling for our May 18th auction. Starting with this Victorian chatelaine, we have a beautiful repoussé brooch here with a central monogram and cherubs with all the necessary accoutrements for running a household. And here we have one of the nicest pieces in this auction is a David Webb 18-karat yellow gold graduated link bracelet out of a local Scarsdale estate. From the same estate, we have these two rings, both 18-karat yellow gold by the designer Barry Kesselstein Cord out of New York City. And here we have an 18-karat yellow gold Tiffany bamboo form ring. And here's also another Tiffany piece designed by Schlumberger for Tiffany, green enamel and 18-karat yellow gold. From the same Scarsdale estate is this beautiful beaded Mughal style bracelet. It is diamonds and it is an assortment of sizes and shapes of beads set with diamonds. From a local Larchmont estate, we have this 14-karat golden pearl grouping. It is mabe pearls and button pearls set in 14-karat yellow gold with diamond accents. From a local Westchester estate is this very interesting piece, ivory beads and 14-karat yellow gold set with turquoise and ruby cabochons. And three pieces from the Cartier Love series out of New York City, released in the 1970s, is this 18-karat white gold and diamond love bracelet, accompanied by the necessary screwdriver to put it on the wearer's wrist, and two rings, one both 18-karat white gold, one set with diamonds and one just with the screw detailing. Also by Barry Kesselstein's Cord out of our Scarsdale estate is this sterling silver wing form belt. It is on a Barry Kesselstein leather belt also. And last but not least for our jewelry is this 14-karat yellow gold two-tone bracelet, a really nice piece out of Scarsdale. And beginning our sterling selection is this three-piece lot. Two sterling cups, figural with bulls and animals and figures on this one, accompanied by this ladle. Out of a Larchmont estate is this filigree vase with beautiful floral work here. And one of our many Judaica lots in this auction includes these two spice towers, so these two yads or Torah pointers. And here is one of two Tiffany & Company ladles. Quite nice, estimated at $400 to $600. And here we have a Gorham tilting teapot out of the same estate as this 4-piece Tiffany & Company tea set. And last for our selection of jewelry and sterling is this 5-piece 800 silver or continental silver tea set. Beautiful detailing here with the ram's head and swags with this beautiful serving tray with a central etched design here. And that wraps it up for our sterling and jewelry, and we hope to see you at May 18th at 12 p.m. Thank you.